Hey guys, it's Geography Lover here. Welcome back to another brand new video. And today we're looking at the top 10 longest monarchical reigns in world history. And we are doing it from the entire world, so not just Europe or Asia or Africa, just the entire world. And there will be some monarchs who are not mentioned on this list, as the monarchs on this list have to have actually reigned, not had a regent reigning for them. So there is one king of Swaziland, Eswatini, that would not count on this list because he had someone else ruling for him. So let's get started. So in 10th place is Queen Victoria of the UK. She ruled from June 20th, 1837 to January 22nd, 1901. And she ruled over the British Empire, which is modern day the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. She ruled over the largest empire the world had ever seen. She lived from 1819 to 1901, and her length of her reign was 63 years and 216 days. And she is the second longest reigning monarch of British history and the longest reigning monarch of the House of Hanover. In 9th place is King Ferdinand III, or Ferdinand I, of the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. He ruled over from October 6, 1759 to January 4th, 1825. And he ruled over the Kingdom of Two Sicilies, so in southern Italy right here, present day. Naples, Sicily, that kingdom. He lived from 1751 to 1825, and his length of his reign was 65 years and 90 days. And he was from the House of Bourbon, Two Sicilies. Number 8 is Pharaoh Ramses II. He ruled from May 31st, 1279 BCE to August 13th, 1213 BCE. So before Common Era, that's what it is. So before the Roman Empire, before the Persian Empire, long ago, over the New Kingdom of Egypt. So this was millennia before the modern state of Egypt and the, right here, and the Ottomans, and all way before. So he ruled for quite a long time ago. He lived from 1303 BCE to 1213 BCE, and his length of his reign was 66 years and 74 days. And we have a little map here and picture of what he was thought to have looked like. But again, a lot of the Egyptians married their siblings and uncles and nieces, and sometimes even their parent. So we don't know if this is exactly what he looked like, but based on contemporary art, that's what we have of a picture of him. And number 7, we have the King Smoke Jaguar. I cannot pronounce this name, but I'll leave in the comments if you know how to pronounce that. He ruled from February 8th, 628 to June 18th, 695. He ruled over the Kingdom of Copan in the Mayan city-state, so in modern-day Honduras. And he lived from 605 to 695, and his length of his rule was 67 years and 130 days. And same thing as of Ramses II. We don't have a legitimate picture of him, but based on contemporary art that we do have, this is the best image that we have of the king. In 6th place is Emperor Franz Joseph I of the Austrian Empire, later Austro-Hungarian Empire. He ruled from December 2nd, 1848 to November 21st, 1916, so right up until World War I. And he was one of the last Habsburg monarchs, of course, of Austria-Hungary. His grandnephew, Charles I, was the last Habsburg monarch of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And he lived from 1830 till 1916, and his length was from 67 years and 355 days. And he was the emperor during World War I until, of course, his death, and then as I mentioned, his grand-nephew, Charles I, took the throne and became emperor for 2 years until the monarchy was abolished in November of 1918. In fifth place is Pakao the Great, another name that I could not pronounce, but leave in the comments if you know how to pronounce it. He ruled from July 27th, 615 to August 29th, 683. And he ruled over the Penelake people. Apologies if I mispronounced that, which is another Mayan city-state. He lived from 603 to 683 AD or CE. And his length of his reign was 68 years and 33 days. And this is the most contemporary picture of the art of what he looks like. But as I said, for the other two ancient monarchs, we don't have a exact picture of what he looked like. This is just based on contemporary art, and same with the flag and site. We don't have contemporary pictures or photographs of what the king looked like. So this is the best picture we do have at the time. In fourth place is Prince Johann II, the ruler of Liechtenstein. He ruled from November 12th, 1858 to February 11th, 1929. And he lived in the Principality, of course. He was born in 1840 and died in 1929. And his length of his rule was 70 years and 91 days. He was the second longest monarch for quite some time until Elizabeth II surpassed him and Rama IX, which we'll get to both of them after. And he was from the small Principality of Liechtenstein, which is between Switzerland and Austria. In third place is King Rama IX, who I mentioned earlier, and he was the king over Thailand. He ruled from June 9th, 1946, and he died on October 13th, 2016, so he just died 10 years ago. And he lived from 1927 all the way up until 2016, and his length of his reign was 70 years and 126 days. And his son, Rama X, is the current king of Thailand, so he just had died recently, just 10 years ago. So if I made this list 10 years ago, he would be alive at this time. So it's crazy to think that. But he has been beaten by two others, and one other one I've just mentioned was Queen Elizabeth II. She ruled from February 6, 1952 to September 8th, 2022. And she's the most recent monarch to have died on this list. And she ruled over the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland and the Commonwealth countries of Canada, Australia, and several others in Africa and the Caribbean. Her length of her reign, her length of her reign was 70 years and 214 days, so she just beat Rama IX and Johann II by a few days, and she lived from 1926 all the way up until 2022, so she just had died 4 years prior. So, and many Britons and many people around the world, remembered the Queen, and she had been their queen for their entire lives, including myself and my family, so it's crazy to think that she had died so recently and she had ruled for so long. But she still is not number one, and that number one spot goes to Louis XIV, the Sun King, who ruled from May 14th, 1643 to September 1st, 1715. And he ruled over, of course, the Kingdom of France, and he lived from 1638 to 1715. So he was actually only 4 years old when he inherited the throne. And he did have a region his mother ruled until he was old enough, and then he did take over the throne. And he ruled for 72 years and 110 days, and he has the longest monarchical reign on record. Of course, he's from the House of Bourbon, and he shaped France in so many ways that are still, impactful today. And, he was the true autocratic king, had complete authority over his people and over the nation, and even over Europe, because the French army became one of the strongest armies in the world due to Louis XIV's reign. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.